What's up, Mortgage Coach community? I am coming to you live out of Vermont, about 30 minutes south of the Canadian border at Jonathan Roach's amazing property, getting ready to do what he's calling the Positive Impact Summit. And Heather Bomar, I have wanted to interview you for many, many years. Finally, we're getting you into the Modern Mortgage Summit. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good. Where are you coming to us live from?
Oklahoma. Oklahoma
right
City,
on.
Oklahoma.
You're home.
I'm home.
Well, I follow you on Instagram, and it seems like you and your family have a good time when you're home, and it seems like you also have a good time traveling around the country.
We do.
Good. Well, I wanna interview you and talk about what you do as a team leader. Of course, you're a mother. You work hard to have a balanced life. You lead a team, and you work hard to create balance in that team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your mortgage practice, a little bit about your team, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Okay. So Heather Bomar. Something to know about me behind my mortgage practice is I am married to my best friend, and I have 5 little kids from 2 years old up to almost 12 years old. And so that side of my life is very busy, very rewarding. It's great. And so that is the reason I work so hard to stay balanced between the two. On my mortgage practice, I have what I call a tiny army of women, AKA my team, and they're just incredible that I get to work with every day. So I have a team of 8. I have my team lead, and I've got 2 closing coordinators, a closing liaison, and then I have my 2 client specialists and my loan analyst. So all of that just kind of makes up my little tiny army, and they're just incredible. What else do you want to know?
And how many families do you serve a year? How many realtors are actively referring business to you? Just give us a feel for the impact and the activity.
So last year, 2020, we closed 643 families, which was super fun. Yes. And that was in the crazy year. And then this year we're on track for 600, which is
wow.
I actually tried to go a little bit lower, and my team was like, no, we're going 600. So I was like, fine.
Love that.
Fine.
Love that. You have built an elite team with high standards. So congrats on that. And
Thank
with
you.
Life balance. So
Truly.
I
couldn't tell you exactly. We probably have like 10 like core partners, if you will. And then we have just so many different, like maybe more acquaintance type partners that refer to us as well, if that makes sense. And then our client database makes up 50% of our business because they just keep coming back, and it's just super fun.
Love that. So 50% of your business is coming from past clients. And what is your estimation on how many past clients you have?
Oh my goodness. I really don't know.
All right. Hey, it's okay. Right. It's okay. It's okay. Well, I'm sure it's over
4,000, 4,000, 5,000, 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000, something around there.
Get back to me on that. And
okay, I'll let you know.
I would like to know. And if you do get with your team and find out how many active realtors, there's no failing or winning. It's just learning. And then what do you think on those 10 realtors? What are they like giving you 20 transactions or more a year, or what do you feel like a good amount of volume is from one of your 10 top partners? Yeah,
so we have a couple of core builders, and our core builder, we probably close 100 a year with them.
Wow.
And then, they're great. And it's just a great values match. They want the best for their clients. We want the best for ours. And we really team well together. We have a big real estate team we work with. I should know their numbers. I focus on the families and my team and the partners, and then just like the business just follows. So, but I should know my numbers.
That's okay. But I mean, to me, the takeaway, anyone listening to this, is if you really focus on your team. And we're going to talk a little bit about Heather, life balance, culture, how she's building a modern mortgage practice, and she's focusing on what matters most, and that is her team. And then clearly the team, I'm sure there's people on the team that know those numbers just like this.
Sure.
So talk about,
sure.
so talk about that. Talk about balance. What is balance for you? What is the kind of balance you try to drive with your team?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, from the very first conversation I have with each team member, I'm always telling them, like, we are a team of balance. I said the reason I have, the size of team I have is because I want us to live balanced lives. Could I get by with less, team members? Yes, I could. But would that be life fulfilling? And would that be a rich life? No, it wouldn't. And so I want, just as much I want to have life balance, I want my team to have that same balance. And so the thing I tell them in the very beginning, and I continue to encourage them on, is when we show up, we show hard. We stay focused. We have fun together, working for our clients and our partners. And then when we leave the door, when we leave these walls, I should say, at 5:30, like we leave well. Like we left, we got all the important things taken care of, and we know that everyone was handled well and at a high level. There was an Orange. Are you familiar with Orange Theory Fitness?
I am, yeah.
Okay, great. I was like, no. So I'm a big fan of theirs, and there was a quote one time I heard, work hard within these walls, and that way you can have more life outside of these walls. And I always love that because it just resonates with me, like, okay, that's how my team and I are. Like, we work hard, and when we come in within these walls and these windows, and we work hard and we stay focused and we kill it. But then we have such life outside of these walls, and get to enjoy it. So it's always resonated with me. And it is rare when I see a team member here past 5:30. We're not working on the weekends. We're willing, if things pop up, we take care of it right away, but we just don't have to because we've proactively followed our systems and taken care of families during the week.
Love that. And
yeah.
I know that you're evolving your practice. I mean, clearly your past clients are a major priority of yours. Also, going beyond the transaction. You've recently, or I don't know if it's recently, for a number of years, you've had an insurance agency. Tell us a little bit about why you're doing that, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Okay. So, it was always kind of a struggle to find an insurance partner that could handle the amount of business that we did and handle it at a high level. And really just operate at the same kind of service levels that we had. And so a few years ago, I partnered with Comma Insurance and opened essentially a branch. And I know the word opened a branch sounds super scary. I honestly really didn't do anything. I just kept doing what I have always done, and that was make the insurance referral. And so basically my team and I, whenever we're at that part in the transaction, we just let the client know, like, by the way, do you know who you're going to work with for insurance? And generally they'll say, no, we're not sure yet, because we're talking to them ahead of the contract. That's another side note we should talk about. Talking ahead of the contract, and okay, fantastic. Would you like for my team to get you a courtesy quote from our affiliated insurance company? They're fantastic. And 95% of the time, not like 98% of the time, like, oh yeah, sure. Even if they're already working with someone or have in the past, they always say sure. And say, perfect, it's Comma Insurance. They're here local. They're amazing. My contact over there is Tammy. She'll take incredible care of you. So when you hear from her, that's who that is. So I always plant that in there because I don't want it to be a cold call for Tammy. I want Tammy to be able to call and be able to transfer that trust to her so that she can kind of take the baton and run from there. And so they're like, fantastic. Okay, well, she'll reach out to you and, the next, 24 to 48 hours, and you'll just love working with her. And that's it. So, and I've always done that in the past with our, whatever insurance agent I was working with, yet now it's my own business that I'm able to refer to. So it's just been a really good match, and they're incredible. They take care of our clients just like we take care of our clients. So it's just a really good value match.
So mortgage coach professionals, I love this strategy. I love it for a lot of reasons. One, it's elevating the buyer experience. The modern mortgage experience is giving people value every step of the way. And this is also beyond the typical mortgage transaction. You're creating value. And then, guys, I love it because it's good for modern mortgage professionals. It's another income stream. It's a residual income stream. and you're building a saleable asset. You're building something that 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now is a saleable asset that could fund your retirement. So guys, check it out. We'll have a link to Comma Insurance down below. So, and notice the scripting was so easy. It wasn't like you were hard selling. It was, hey, would you like a courtesy quote? They deliver exceptional service. And when you've delivered exceptional service to a customer and you have great energy, I mean, you can just, Heather is level 5 vibe. You've got great energy with people. It's not even what you say, it's how you say it. They're like, yeah, of course I want that. Yes, of course, Heather, I want a courtesy quote from your insurance company. So anything else you want to add to that? Because I got another question. Anything on comment that you want to cover?
No,
so
yeah, check it out.
You mentioned earlier, we got to go back and talk about that. And it was, you were involved with the client at an early stage. Describe what you were referring to just a minute ago.
Yeah. Yes. If you are operating, if you're getting the referral at the time of contract as a norm, you're working way too hard. We proactively coach and work with our referral partners to refer to us as far ahead of the contract as possible. And it's to their benefit and to ours. We want to establish that trust early. We want the family to have clarity around the numbers. We want to know, we want them to know their buying power. So we selfishly or unselfishly let our referral partners know the why for them. Basically, be able to sell that trust back to them. And selfishly, it's for us too, because by the time the client's in contract and I'm just now getting that referral, like I'm a commodity. I can have all the energy that I want, but I'm having to work like 20 times harder. And so by getting that referral way in advance, we are able to establish trust. There's not that, just give me my numbers and my payment energy. I'm able to approach it like an advisor and not just like, here's your payment, here's your interest rate. And so it's just a totally different level. And so we coach our referral partners to say something along the lines of, now that we're starting on your home buying journey, do you know who you're going to get pre-qualified with? Okay, great. Or you don't know? Okay, that's great too. No worries at all. I am going to have, no matter what they say, I'm going to have our preferred lender, or I'm going to have Heather Bomar with Cornerstone Lending reach out to you. She's the top mortgage advisor in the state of Oklahoma. She's incredible. She and her team are incredible. You'll understand why once you speak with them. So when you hear from her, so it's essentially the same script I just used about Comma with our team. When you hear from her, they're going to be able to go through just your different mortgage strategies and really bring your numbers into sharp focus. But what they just did is they teed up the trust for my team. And so we're able to take that baton and we're able to sell that trust back to the clients, give that trust back to the agent. Because when we reach out to that family, we're going to say, I heard that you're working with Susie over at XY Realty. She's incredible. How did you meet her? Oh, that's fantastic. You're going to really, really enjoy working with her. She's going to be an incredible resource with you. And we're able to build that trust back to them. And I've had clients that were like cousins of the realtor that had no idea. They actually said, wow, I had no idea that she was that good. And that's, no matter what it is, they're like, I am so glad to hear that. They could have just met the realtor or their cousins, and they always say, wow, I'm so glad to hear that. And so I was able to establish the extra love in the bank to the family for that agent, no matter what their relationship was. So it's a good like sandwich between us and the partner.
Well, one thing I've noticed in all of my interviews, top producers consistently are very intentional about how they're referred. They train their referral partners how to refer them. It's not, here's 3 business cards, call one of these lenders. Do your agents ever email introduce you, or is it they set it up so that you're contacting and then they're giving you the buyer's contact information? What is that?
I do have a few. Yeah, I have a few that will email and make the introduction, and it's just something they came up with on their own. I have let agents know, we're working with a new partner, or maybe we're rolling it out to old partners, and I will make that an option. Just say, hey, introduce us by email. But really my preference is they let them know that we're going to be reaching out, and that way we can basically take control of that and give the client a call. And they're expecting us. There was already that trust teed up. And so it's just kind of like, I don't know, just a a warm, fuzzy, friendly call, and we can just kind of build the trust from there.
So I know you and I could do a whole interview on this, but I just want to get a little bit more into that process. Who makes that call? The realtor gives you a referral. Is it always you? Is it always X person? Who makes that first conversation?
It's actually never me. It used to be me.
I didn't think so.
And so again, my team and I are very intentional in our words. I feel like just words are so important. And when they're making an introduction, they're saying Heather and her team. Heather and her team will be reaching out to you. And that's intentional on my part. I've coached them to say that because my team is going to be the ones reaching out. I can't be all things to all people, but my team can be a full extension of me and it feel like me. And so my client specialist will reach out to them. One of my client specialists will reach out to them and she'll say, hey, this is Jordan with Heather Bomar's team at Cornerstone Lending. Susie at XYZ Realty asked us to reach out to you. She said you're starting the home search process or the home buying process. Is that right? And it's like high energy. It's not salesy sounding at all. It's not robot sounding at all. And we just asked them a question. So they're like, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's so exciting. Congratulations. Kind of where you're at in the process. And it just kind of flows right from there. And then we'll say, and this is another intentional script, and you didn't ask it, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you anyway. She'll say, fantastic. The best place for us to get started is what we call your big picture information. It'll take just a couple of minutes. So we make it sound very non-scary, low barrier of entry, but just the best place for us to get started is with what we call your big picture information. You have just a couple minutes to go through that. And they always say yes, unless they're literally in the middle of something super important.
Big picture information. I like that. And I know you're big into, Todd Duncan, high trust. I've always seen you at Sales Mastery. So I would imagine that big picture information is following your edited version of high trust interview. Is that fair enough?
So that part is truly just a loan application. We're just making it sound not scary because we're normally.
So your big picture is a client questionnaire.
Your social security number, your date of birth.
Okay, I'm glad we got that because I didn't know if it was a big picture, hopes, dreams, and that. No, you are packaging, and I've heard the loan app packaged under loan questionnaire, but you just took it to another level. It's the big picture, just some big picture information. I love that.
Yeah. And then we'll get the loan app, and at the end of that, she'll say, okay, fantastic. I'm going to get this prepped for Heather's review. And someone from our team will be reaching out to you later today to go over the details of your pre-qualification. And then warm fuzzy, off the phone call, and then my team, again, takes it from there. When we call them back, we go over the gap questions for the 1003. If there's anything hairy, we just want to clarify. And then we go into the high trust interview. And then from there, you just took me down a whole trail. From there, we'll go in, we'll set a meeting, either a phone meeting, Zoom meeting, a phone meeting, or an in-person. And that's where we'll actually go over mortgage strategy. So it's kind of like 3 steps.
Got it. So I know I'm going to need to do a whole Heather Bomar pre-approval experience. Actually, that's one of Shayla Gifford's keynotes, is the Shayla Gifford modern pre-approval experience. So stay tuned for that. That's a keynote. So we're going to need to get the Heather Bomar version of that. So let's do this. I feel like we've got the comma insurance strategy. We've got how to train your agents to teach you and your team. We've got some great life balance. Let's wrap up and close out with advice to your younger self when you were just getting into the mortgage business, or for any new loan officer that's getting into the mortgage business today. What advice do you have for new loan officers?
Okay, so advice, and something I did follow, was just stay with it. I feel like when the getting gets tough, like people get going and they just leave, and that's fine if it's not for you. But I feel like a lot of people just quit too early, and so I just stayed in there. I got the no's, I got the rejections, and my dad actually taught me this. He used to take me when I was little. Do you remember those personalized Christmas cards? You probably not.
I do.
Anyway, so I I would go door to door selling these Christmas cards. Well, when he very first started, for my school, he like had me put a script together. I practiced it, and then I went to my very first door, and I knocked on the door, and this lady answered, and I gave my script, and she said no and shut the door in my face. I was heartbroken. And so I like ran back to the car, just like tears streaming down my face. And I got in the car and I was like, Dad, and I told him everything. And he was like, so sorry, baby, on to the next door. And so I learned that lesson. So I went to the next door, and you know what? I sold a lot of Christmas cards. In fact, I was the top Christmas card seller ever, at least for that year. And got all the little cool prizes from the catalog. Anyway, so I learned a really valuable lesson at a young age, and that was just to keep going to the next door. And then you mentioned Todd Duncan. I was able to build in the trust system with that too. And that the trust strategy is my jam, because that just is a value match for me. So it works well. So that's what I would say is keep going the next door. What else? Be diligent. Have a.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I want to cut you off.
I was going to say be diligent. Yeah, be diligent. Keep a schedule. I feel like, again, a lot of people look at it as like, oh, I'm my own boss now, and I get to do whatever. Like, I showed up and I worked hard. Show up early, I would stay late, and I would build my business. It wasn't like a free vacation for me. So show up, work hard. What were you going to say?
Well, first of all, I think you killed it. Great advice for any new loan officer hearing it. But you said the high trust thing, that's my jam. So put a little more color on what is high trust to you and how you've implemented it into your practice.
Yes. Back to, getting the referral early, building trust, coaching my referral partners to tee up that trust for me, because that family comes in that conversation with me already trusting me, because that realtor has said, she said the same words over and over, and she can say that because it's true. Heather Bomar and her team are incredible. She's the top mortgage advisor in the state of Oklahoma. They're going to really make sure that you're in the best mortgage strategy. So when you talk to her, And so that family comes in that conversation already trusting me, and then we're able to continue to build that trust from there. And so it's just so much easier working with people that know, love, and trust you. And even if they're brand new, they feel like they know, love, and trust you. And then that turns into a raving fan, and then they can go tell other clients or tell their partner, and it just it builds from there. And I mentioned earlier how much our businesses, past clients, or I don't even call them past clients. It's all in your words. I call them clients because they are clients. I expect to do their mortgage always. And so they're raving fans, and they come back again and again. And again, I'm not having to work as hard, because I don't have to go out and create all this new business, because these people already love me. So when they buy their next house, and that's probably the third piece of advice I would give is that stay in it for the long game, and have that mindset when you're talking to families and partners, like have that long game in mind. When someone comes to you, if they're not buying for a year, don't treat them like they're not buying for a year. Treat them like they're buying now. And that family feels that, they see that, and they remember that. Or if they have credit repair, like just give people common courtesy and play the long game. I do a lot of new construction, and people say, like, how do you wait for 9 months for something to close? I'm like, it's a pipeline, so just play it for the long game.
Love that.
Yeah,
so much
trust
valuable
is my jam.
advice. Trust is your jam. That's a great quote from Heather Bomar. So any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
Have fun. It's a challenging business, but I think the challenge is part of what makes it fun. And if it were easy, everyone could do it. And so I just say have fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Take seriously what needs to be taken serious, but most things don't need to be taken that seriously. Like, have fun with your partners, have fun with the families, be polished, but have fun.
Love it. Be polished, but have fun. So guys, it's been a great interview. Heather, thank you so much for your time and the value.
Thank you.
Mortgage Coach community, if you got value, give this a like. Love it. Share it with your mortgage friends. And this is a wrap. Take care, Heather.
Thank you.